Hi, I wanted to explain to you for a few minutes what the 43 folders filing system and follow-up system is like. 43 folders comes from the idea that you have one folder for each month of the year, and then you have one folder for each day of the month. So 12 folders for 12 months, 31 folders for 31 days, that's 43 folders. Now, you don't have to use folders. You can. Manila folders, hanging folders. What I've chosen to do is I've chosen to use a slightly different version. Staples has this fantastic notebook filing system called the ARC. And if you Google it, you'll find it, and I believe I'll put some links to some of the pieces that I use below this video. But basically what I've done is I've created a folder, a single binder, right here, that has basically the same concept, except instead of folders I'm using tabs. I like this better because this is portable. This is easy for me to use. I prefer a pen and paper system to a computer-based system because I have more flexibility. I don't have to worry about having my computer with me. I don't have to worry about having the right software or putting in my thoughts the way the software wants me to. I can put them in freeform. I can put them in however I'm thinking and just file them and then recall them when I need to recall them. And all you really need is some 3x5 index cards. So I'm going to show you how I use it, and then you can decide whether or not you want to do it the way I've done it, or if you want to do your own way. But basically this is the way 43 folders works. Okay, this is my 43 folders filing system. What I did was I bought a ARC binder. This is a leather binder that comes with these rings. There are big rings. I've got the small rings you can take a look at. But they have big rings and they have small rings. For a 43 folder setup like mine, I would suggest you get the big rings because the tabs themselves take up quite a bit of space. As you can see, it's pretty thick. There's not a lot of information in this yet, but just the folders themselves take up quite a bit of space. So I'd suggest getting the big rings. The nice thing about the ARC system is that the rings are the exact same width when it comes to punching holes. So I could use the small rings or I could use the big rings. In fact, what I have is I have a small version of this too that does nothing except hold index cards. Now, this is an expensive solution. You're probably looking at about $20 for the binder and the rings. Then I also have this special hole punch for the ARC system, and what it's got is it basically punches these little, I'll show you this real quick, these little mushroom shaped holes in the side of your index cards so that they can basically just go right in, and you just push them right over top of the rings and they're locked in. You could use a 3-ring binder and a regular hole punch. The problem I have with that is you can only get one hole in an index card and then it flops around. This one gives you 3, which pretty much lets you lock in. So this will just flip over and flip back. So I prefer this solution, but again, you can use manila folders, you can use a regular 3-ring binder if you want. The hole punch is the most expensive piece of this. This is going to set you back probably about $45. But if you get into an ARC filing system like this, it is definitely an investment well worth it. You can punch business cards, you can punch regular paper, you can punch anything and have whatever you want in your folder with you. So if you get a business card and you want to follow up with someone on a business card, punch the business card, put it in when you want to follow up with the person. In addition to that, what I have is I have 12 folders, one for each month, January, February, March, April, May. And then I have folders for the individual days of the month. This is also a set that you can get at Staples. I got the months for about $5 and the days were about $10. So it was about $15 just for the papers. But they're all punched. If you notice, I'll take the first one out so you can see. They're originally punched with a 3-hole punch, but what I did was I took my ARC punch and I basically punched a whole new set of holes in them just so they'd fit into my filing system. So it has the extra set of holes. It doesn't really bother me. There's a piece of paper, like almost like tape over the holes, protecting them so that they don't wear out. So I think it works well for what I'm doing. So that's my setup. I keep a few index cards in the little front pocket, punched and ready to go for whatever thoughts or notes or people I need to follow up with. So I basically, just as I have a thought or I have a note, I just write it down and then I file it. So that's the basic structure of how my folder is organized. Here's the way the 43 folder system works. Basically what you do is you take the days of the month, days 1 through whatever, and you put them behind the next time that day will come around. So I'm filming this right now on April 26th. So if I flip to my April tab, the tabs that I have left in the month of April are 26 through 31. Now obviously April doesn't have 31 days in it, but I keep it here anyway. So my April 26th through the 31st tabs are here, and then my 1st through the 25th tabs are behind the month of May. So I have May 1st, May 2nd, May 3rd, May 4th, so I can flip to whatever day I'm currently on and see what I need to do for that day. You know, I've already dealt with my stuff for today, so when I go to April 26th, my folder is empty, so I've taken care of everything for today. So let's say, for example, I take a note and I want to make a follow-up and I want to do something on the 29th. The way the system works is I come in, I make, excuse my dog's barking in the background, I make a note on whatever it is I want to do on the 29th, then I flip over to the 29th and I take my note and I can put it in wherever. I tend to do the top 3, then the next 3, then the next 3, but you can put it in wherever, and it's filed. So I don't have to think about it, I don't have to worry about it, I don't have to look at it until the 29th comes. When the 29th comes, I flip to the 29th, and here's everything I need to do for the 29th. Now, let's say I need to put something in for a October date. Well, I haven't got any tabs for October yet, so I would go look at October, and I would see there's nothing here. So what would I do in that case? Basically what I would do would be I would take a note, and I would put on here, if I knew what date in October I wanted to follow up with, I would put the date up here, let's say 10/16. And I would file it behind my October tab. Not assigned to a date, just for the month of October. So when October 1st rolls around, the first thing I do is I come and I deal with all of the things that are not behind a date, just for the month. And then once I saw that I had something on 10/16, I would take that card out, I'd go behind the 16th for October, and I would file it. So on the 1st of every month you have a little bit more to do than the other months, but then basically once you've gotten everything filed for that particular month, you don't have to look at it again or think about it again until that day comes around. So that's the idea behind it. Now what happens when tomorrow comes? Well, the trick behind this is what I do is, today is April 26th, so what I will do when April 27th rolls around, I've already dealt with all of my April 26th stuff, so I will take my April 26th day out, I'll flip to May, I'll go behind the 25th of May, and I'll put in the 26th. So now I have May 1st through May 26th right here. I can always see what the current day is because I can just go to April. Whatever the lowest number is we have here, that's what the day is. And this is what I have for tomorrow. Now tomorrow's Sunday. I have nothing to do on Sunday. So this page is blank. So every day you deal with what's on that particular day. Once you've dealt with that day, you take that day's tab out. You move to the next month. You put it behind whatever that day is. And then you're good to go. When you come to the 1st of the month, which would be May 1st, you go to the May tab, not the numbers, but the May tab itself. You deal with anything that's behind the May tab, put it behind whatever day in May you need to deal with it. Now, if you don't care what day, it's just something you need to deal with in May, spread it out. Put some stuff behind May 6th, put some time behind May 15th, whatever the case may be. What I use this for is I know I need to follow up with someone in 6 months. So today being April, I'll take and I'll have their card, and I'm not going to show you the cards because I don't want you to see their information, but I have cards in April of people that I have just dealt with, and then what I will do is when I need to follow up with them in 6 months, I'll take their card, I'll go back to October, I'll put them behind the October tab because I don't have any days yet, and I'll have a list of everyone I want to follow up with in October, and on October 1st, I'll come in and I'll just start putting them behind different days so I know when I need to deal with people on what particular days. It's a great filing system because this is as thick as it's ever going to get. It's an entire year, and you have the ability to put in your thoughts in any way, any structure. You can draw pictures, you can put in notes or thoughts on a particular person, how you met them, what you need to do when you need to follow up with them. It's very free form, and that's why I prefer paper to the computer. So that's the basic idea behind 43 folders. This is how I have chosen to implement it. You don't have to follow this method, but it is definitely one of the best systems for follow-up and making sure that you are getting tasks done that need to get done. This all comes from a book called Getting Things Done by David Allen. I'll put a link to that also at the bottom of this video. If you have the opportunity, pop out to Amazon, pick up that book. Arguably one of the best books for an information or a knowledge worker who needs to get things done and just feels overwhelmed by how much information they have to deal with. So take a look at that. Take a look at my filing system. I hope this helped. If I didn't explain things thoroughly or I talked too fast, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. But I hope this helps you. Thanks. Talk to you later.